Hello again, folks. Today I'm going to tie a wee fly called a bunny leech. And the reason why it's called a bunny leech is it's tied using black rabbit strips, and these are available from Blood and Buzzard. Now the hook and the vise is a size 10 barbless buzzer hook, and the bead is a 3.8mm bead in chartreuse. Now you can put on whatever colour of bead suits you. Now the rabbit strip, I don't cut it to length before I tie it on, and I'll explain that as I go along. Now, as well as the bead, I add a bit of, it's just lead wire. It's actually lead free wire, but it's called lead wire. So we'll just get kicked on here. So the thread I'm using is 50 denier nano silk from Semperfly. So we'll get our thread started behind the bead, run on a few turns of thread, come in and take away our excess. Now this thread, you only want to run it to round about twice the length of the bead from the bead. You don't want it too far down the bend of the hook, and run your thread back up again. So I have already taken off a piece of our lead free wire. It's only about 2 inches long. So you want to hold one end, grab your other end and start winding your lead wire towards the bead of the hook. So bring your wire up on, and this is easy nipped off. You just pull away, give your wire a push up around the bend of the hook under the back of the head, and tuck your wisp piece of lead. You'll see the wisp piece here though. Just tuck that on round the shank of the hook. So what I'm going to do now is run your thread down and just secure off that lead. All you're looking to do is just put a flat bed on top of that lead wire. And that just gives us something security to run our rabbit strip off. Now, the next part on the fly is, this is chartreuse crinkle flash, and you only want one strand, or half a strand even, and the reason being you don't want this overloaded by flash. So run your thread behind the eye, tie on your flash, punch a loop to get us started, couple of turns over, and double your strand back. Run your thread towards the rear of the hook. Now what you want to do is cut this away. So our next part now is our rabbit strip. So I haven't done very much with this. It's just nipped at the leather in a straight cut. So we run our thread behind the bead and just tie this in like that there behind the bead. Tie it down flat. Run your thread down towards where our lead finishes. So now we cut our tail day length. Now you don't want this too long. I always go roughly about twice the length of the hook behind. So pull all your fur forward. Until I get under the backing, and then come on with your scissors and cut that straight across. So that's your tail on your bunny leech. Now what we're going to do is create a dubbing loop and a dubbing brush out of the rabbit fur, so we're able to run our dubbing loop the whole way up behind the bead of the fly. So what I have here is it's just a clip. I don't even know where I got that out. It wasn't, wherever I got it, it wasn't that dear. So we want to take off a piece about a couple inches, about 2.5 inches. Trim that away. So if we pull our hair, do we get the hair to stand up straight? Get our clip and put the hair inside the clip. Right? Now, don't worry about it all being on. There'll be wee bits that'll be poking out, and don't worry about it. Now, what you want to do is this backing, you want to leave about 1/2 inch right over the end of the clip, and come on then with your scissors and trim off that backing. And that rabbit fur that's on the clip will create our dubbing brush whenever we create the dubbing loop. Now, there's a couple of ways to create a dubbing loop. You can loop your thread over, twist round, use a dubbing twister, splay your 2 loops of thread out and put your hair on, or this Semperfly thread lies out pretty flat, and this for me, for showing anybody, this would be the handiest way to do it, to create a double loop. So all this is here is just a wee fine point needle, same as a double needle. That's only on a wee plastic clip. Now if you let your bobbin holder drop down, it'll start to spin out itself, and it'll find that flatness that we need to get. Now for this, you just want to lift your thread and your finger and use your double needle to run along the thread and then catch it over your finger again. And as you do that multiple times, you'll see your bobbin holder starting to spin, and that thread will start to flatten out. So after a few times, hold the bobbin holder on your finger and thumbs, use your index finger to loop your thread over, and use your needle to split the thread. Now it should split even enough for you, so that's our splitting the thread here, right? So what I do now is, this is only vineyard wax, it's on same as a wee Pritt stick. Just run a wee bit of wax on the 2 pieces of thread. Now all this time I'm keeping 2 fingers within the loop. Bring your clip back, right, and put your whole clip inside the loop, and as you get it over the clip, release your 2 fingers from inside. Now grab your thread where it reaches the bottom of the clip, right, and hold that tight. Slip your thread off the clip, open the clip and take it away, right? Now still holding on tight to this thread, spin out your bobbin holder, release your thread a wee bit, hold this tight and spin your bobbin holder, right? Now you want to spin this bobbin holder at least 50-60 times. The reason being is, whenever we let this slack, that'll start to brush up, and you'll see it now in a wee minute, because I should have moved this camera back to let you see. So all we have to do then is start to release this here, look. And as you release, that'll start to spin out and create our dubbing brush. Now what you have to do is loop over your finger and spin your bobbin holder. And every time you spin, release that out, and that'll create your dubbing brush. So same again, spin and release that out. There you are, that's your dubbing brush. A handier way than creating a dubbing loop and holding the loop and hooking it around your vice to hold on to the loop, and for me that's the easiest way. If I was showing anybody, that's the way I would show them how to do a double loop, especially with that's Semperfli thread, because it's strong thread. So getting back to our flight, what you want to do is see this loose thread, this excess thread, run that on the back, and then as your brush starts to come in, start pulling your fur towards the rear of the hook. And much the same as a hackle, as it's coming up round, pull your fibres back and start winding forwards towards the bead. Can get a wee bit messy and a wee bit footery, but it's definitely worth it for it's a very, very good fly. So with a wee bit of patience, keep pulling our material back and running towards the bead. So that's us up now behind the bead. 3 or 4 turns in just to secure that in. So that's your body on of your bunny leech. Now, but I know I've said these before, this is only pound shop nail varnish, and I like to varnish when the flies in the vise and I'm nearly done. So run your varnish down a couple of inches on your thread, and I whoop finish by hand, but you can certainly do it with a whoop finishing tool. So pull all your fur back and behind the bead, and your 3 or 4 turn whoop finish. Pull your thread tight and throw away your excess. Now the last piece of that fly is just take your time, pull all them hairs out and hang it's trapped under, and pull them all towards the rear of the hook. So there you have it, folks. Now I'll take this out of the vise and show you the reason why we put the lid on and what makes this. It's the movement in the fly. So that's our bunny leech. So we have this here, the tail, which is able to move about of its free will. You have this here, which gives you loads of movement. If you're pulling forward, that'll close, and as you stop, that'll open. We have the bead, which will give you the weight down, as well as the lead underneath. So what you actually get is, you get your fly closing in, then you get your tail movement, and you get this opening out, and your fly dropping down. And then when you pull again, your fly will come along, all close up, and then your tail will move, and this will all open out. It literally gives you that kind of movement there, though. And that tail can up and down, and it can be irresistible to rainbow trout, especially in that black. Now you can mix that up and funk that up whatever way you want. I would tie them as well with the black at the front and pink at the tail, or this is a new one here from Blob and Buzzer. It's golden olive. I would tie the black at the front and golden olive at the tail. I normally keep with the darker colour at the front than light and dark. you know what I mean. Another good one as well is it's like a tiger colour. It's red and black barred over yellow. You'll know the colour I'm on about. It's like if you've ever seen a salmon fly, a tiger prawn, that colour. So there you are, folks. That's a bonny leech, and as I say, pretty good fly, decent lure. Now you don't want your tail too long. I'll add this before I finish. You don't want your tail too long, because what happens is they come at the rear of the fly, and you'll end up missing a load of trout. If you notice that they're coming short on it and they're pulling the tail, all you have to do is go into your backing and take off a 1/4 of an inch. Cut this off here. Give me your scissors and I'll actually do it now. Cut a 1/4 of an inch off the back of the fly and shorten it up a wee bit. And if they're still coming short on it, same again, take another wee bit off. Sometimes they like them 3 inches, 4 inches long, then other times then they won't take them unless they're short. But there you are, folks. As I say, pretty easy fly to tie, and that's, for me, that's the best method of tying a dubbing loop. So there you go, tie a few for your box, and as I say, definitely catch you a few trout. So thank you very much for watching. Until the next time, tight lines.